Hello, I am Professor Rios. Welcome to my workshop, Learning the Color Codes, or how to learn the color codes. I said how to learn the color codes because I find that it is really a challenge for a lot of students to learn the resistor's color code. The resistor's color code basically tells you the value of the resistor by reading the value of the color codes. As you know, one of the systems is that you have 3 bands of color close together and 1 band of color that is farther away. The ones that are close together tells you the value of the resistor. The first position, it will tell you that number, whatever color it is. The second one is the second digit, which will be whatever number indicates the color. And the third band is the number of zeros indicated by the color. The band color that is farther apart tells you basically the tolerance of that resistor. And that part is very easy. The most common values is 5% and 10%. 5%, which is a high tolerance, is a more precision, is gold. You can relate gold to 5 because gold has a higher value. The other value is 10%, which is silver. Silver has a lesser value than gold, therefore is 10% tolerance. That's easy to remember. The real challenge comes to remember colors from 0 to 9. Let me show you a very simple technique that will show you how to learn this in a very short period of time. The reason why I'm doing this is because I have a number of students who have told me, Professor, it's going to be impossible for me to learn this. Professor, I have a learning disability. Professor, I flunked this class before because I didn't know these colors and the previous professor flunked me. I don't think I'll be able to pass this class. And I have demonstrated these students that with this simple technique, they have been able to learn the color code in a few minutes. And they have been so happy about it that they could not even believe it. Some of them told me, Professor, you are an angel. I am no angel. I just love teaching. Let's start. The first code or color that we're going to learn, let's do it in order. Okay, by the way, sometimes I noticed that a student learned a song related to all of the color codes. The problem that I see with this song is that you have to sing that song 3 times until you hit the color that you want to find out the value for. My technique involves learning each color with each value and doubt that this is how it's done, okay? How can I relate the 0 to black? All I'm asking you to do is to visualize what I'm talking to you about. Because we remember things that are in action, we remember things that are in movement, action, and that you can visualize, okay? So I want you to visualize now something that is round when you are driving down the road and is black. What is round, black, and is rolling around everywhere in the highway? The wheels. The wheels are black. Okay? I want you to visualize a car with black wheels and see with your mind's eyes that the black wheel is rolling. I want you to see it. Okay, I want to imagine this car with black wheels. See with your mind's eyes and see that the color of the wheels are black. Therefore, black is 0. Once you have visualized that, you will have permanent knowledge of that color and that number. Let's go with the next color or the next number. The next number is number 1. Number 1 is related to brown. How can we relate number 1 to the color brown? All I want you to do is to remember Robin Hood. Remember Robin Hood? Robin Hood, it was that gentleman who would take money away from the rich and give it to the poor. I want you to visualize Robin Hood in the jungle or in the woods, okay? And think, what was the weapon of choice of Robin Hood? Okay? I want you to see with your mind eyes Robin Hood taking an arrow in his bow and actually aiming and releasing that arrow. I want you to see with your mind's eyes that arrow. What is the color of the arrow? What is it made out of? Brown. It's made out of wood. Therefore, 1 is brown. Okay? Because you see it when you see Robin Hood throwing that arrow. So, 1 is related to brown. Let's see the color related to number 2. The color related to number 2 is red. How can we relate to that? If you ever see someone that has both eyes red, like tomatoes, okay, it will lead you to think and to believe that this person was stupid enough to take some kind of drugs. Who takes drugs, believe me, is not smart, is dumb, okay? Now, you have never seen any of this person with one eye white and the other one red. Doesn't happen like that. Someone who do that, both eyes are going to be red. So I want to visualize someone who I've ever seen with, red eyes. And I want you to see with your mind eyes, okay? Those 2 red eyes. So red, 2 eyes, red is related to 2, okay? Once you visualize that, you will never forget that red is related to 2. Now, let's go with the number 3. The number 3, in order to remember that the number 3 is orange, all I want you to do is to see with your mind's eyes someone juggling 3 oranges. I don't know how to do that, so I can show you, but I can imagine, just like you are, someone who's juggling with 3 oranges. You have to see with your mind's eyes someone doing that with 3 oranges. Like you are driving down the road, you're stopping a traffic light, and you see someone who comes with 3 oranges, and the 3 oranges are in the air at all times. You need to see the oranges in movement. It's 3 oranges, okay? That's how you are going to remember that the number 3 is related to orange. Visualizing this, it's movement. Now, let's go on with the next number, which is number 4. Number 4 is yellow. But how can I relate number 4 to the yellow color? Let's build a story about it, okay? I want you just to imagine that you are driving down the road and all of a sudden, okay, the road of 4 lanes that you are driving on, all the lanes are yellow. It never happens like that. How weird that is. I want you to see yourself in your car moving in movement, and you see the 4 lanes of that road yellow. It's so weird that it seems that you are in a dream, but you are seeing this. You need to see this with your mind eyes. Remember, the trick is to remember this story, and you will never remember that yellow is related to number 4. Let's go ahead with the next color or number that is 5. To remember the color 5, you will always have to remember me, your professor. You see, your professor is kind of overweighted, right? So I went to the doctor, and the doctor told me that I have to lose half of my weight. Wow, how am I going to do that? The doctor told me that I have to eat 5 green apples Monday through Friday in order for me to lose weight. So you have to visualize the professor at lunchtime eating a green apple. You can visualize as an aid that it's a huge apple, a green, and I'm eating that green apple. I'm allowed to eat only 1 apple a day. It's big and it's green. Monday to Friday during the week. So it's 5 apples that the professor needs to eat in order to lose weight. Saturday and Sunday, I can eat as much as I want. By Monday through Friday, I have to eat 5 apples. Okay? 5 green apples. I need you to see with your mind's eyes. And you will remember that number 5 is related to green. Let's go on with the same number, next number. It's number 6. Number 6 is blue. How can we remember this? I want you to see with your mind's eyes that you are at an air show and there are 6 blue airplanes doing dogfight among them. Okay? There is a big dogfight in the air of 6 planes. I want you to visualize the 6 blue angel planes, doing maneuvers up in the air. If you see with your mind's eyes and you see the 6 planes, you will never forget that 6 is related to the color blue. Now the next number is violet. How can we remember that 7 is violet? We have to make a story about it, okay? And I want you to learn that technique for anything that you need to remember. There was a gifted kid that went on a TV show, and his biggest desire was to have a Stradivarius, okay? And this millionaire called the program, and he told this kid that he's willing to give him 7 violins, Stradivarius, 7 violins, if he promises to do free concert via TV for all the kids in the world. So violet is, I'm running out of battery, I need to plug this, hold on. Okay, we're back in business. I saw the sign that it was about to turn off and I wanted to continue. Now, let's go back to a story of the kid that was given 7 violins by this millionaire, okay? With the promise that he was supposed to play every day of his life, every week, 7 days a week, okay? 7 times. The Stradivarius. The violins were violet. And you remember this? Violet, violin. Sounds almost the same. Violet, violin. And you have to see the kid playing violins, Monday through Sunday, okay? And these Stradivarius were violet also. That's 2 ways of remembering this. Okay, 7 is violet. Because the kid was playing violins, and violins is close to violet, and the violins themselves were violet in color. You have to see this with your mind's eyes. This way you will never forget this. Now, let's go to the next number, which is number 8. how can we relate the number 8 is gray? Just imagine yourself out of your balcony. If you don't have a balcony, just imagine one. You're looking down the balcony, and in a bench down there, you see two old individuals talking to each other. You have to see with your mind's eyes that they are old, they are bald, in the top of their hair, and around their head, they have white hair. White hair, almost gray, okay? Because white is very hard. It's gray color. As you look down, you see these two persons talking to each other. They are bald in the center, but they have hair around, and they have gray hair, okay? So what do they look like? It looks like a number 8, and you will remember that it's gray because they have gray hair. So you have to see with your mind's eyes these two persons talking, in that bench that are almost bald, but they have gray hair. And two bald heads next to each other, it looks like two zeros, which is like an 8, okay? Now, what is the next number? 9. 9 is white. And how can we remember this? Because it's the only color you need to remember. The number 9 is white. Okay? Number 9 is white. You only have to remember one color. So this shows you a very simple technique that allows you to remember in a permanent way the color code. Now, as you go home, as you see a color of any color, I want you to think about these stories, and you will be surprised how easy it is to relate a color to a number. Thank you and welcome to the Permanent Knowledge workshop of how to learn the color codes. Thank you.